Do we finally have a good Fantastic Four movie, or is this just a cursed adaptation forever? Welcome back to another Movie Nights movie review. I'm Dalton Burdett with the amazing Nick Iricchio. Nick, how are you, my friend?
Fantastic, buddy. Thank you for asking.
I was waiting for it. I knew it was going to come. Obviously, today we're talking about Fantastic Four: The First Steps. This is the first film first Fantastic Four film, I should say, made by Marvel Studios for their Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though it takes place on a separate Earth. It's directed by Matt Shakman, who is the director of the WandaVision series. Stars Pedro Pascal, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, Joseph Quinn, and Vanessa Kirby as your Fantastic Four. This is a film that I've been looking forward to for many, many years, even when it was originally announced back when John Watts was going to be directing it. Through all the iterations, all the evolutions of when it finally got here, I was so excited for this movie. And I was kind of getting a little nervous by that because, when you really hype something up for yourself, who knows how it's going to go. I walked into this theater. I've seen the film twice now already. The first time I saw it, I walked into the theater, I sat down, was just like, all right, let's just see what happens here. Let's just, hopefully this is a good Fantastic Four movie. Hopefully it's a good movie. I kind of know your answer, but I'm just, for the purposes of the conversation, I'm just going to say, I don't know about you. I fucking love this movie. I love this movie. It worked on all cylinders for me. Of course, I have some, issues with it and some complaints about it, but overall, I thought it was paced wonderfully. I thought the script was really tight. I thought that the casting was perfection. If you have any doubt about any of the cast in this movie, it immediately alleviates those concerns. To me, the big standout was Vanessa Kirby. I thought she was excellent. I also thought that Ebon Moss-Bachrach did such a phenomenal job. And going into more positives, most of the CGI, which I'll get into in my negatives later, most of the CGI is absolutely phenomenal, especially all of the space battle stuff that you see. The Thing looks so good that this is the first time in a while, maybe since an Avatar film, where while I was watching it, I completely forgot that it wasn't like a suit. Like, I'm watching it and I'm just like, oh, he's real. Like, that's the Thing. And
it's a man.
Exactly. Like, it looks
Yeah.
that good. It looks that good. And the production design, the retro future 60s vibe that they have going on, really great. The film uses exposition very well. It's not an origin story. It's kind of similar to Superman in that way, which is very funny. But the montage that it opens with to kind of give you the history of the Fantastic Four in this world, you immediately buy into it. You immediately buy into the stakes of the story, which some trailer did reveal what it is, but I'm not going to say it just in case you don't know or don't want to know. But it's tied very close to Fantastic Four comic books, and there are brilliant chase sequences in this movie, brilliant action in the movie. Silver Surfer, played by is Julie Gardner. Amazing job playing Shalabal. And what I will say is there's not that much action in the movie. And when I say that, that sounds like a negative. The action's perfectly well placed. It just didn't need it. I was just really encapsulated by the movie I was watching. I thought it was really great. Does it fall into tropes of typical, screenplay structure in superhero films? Of course it does, but I think it does it in a very exceptional way to a point where I was not bothered. If I were to kind of go into the negatives I have with the film, I would say one just glaring negative is there is a baby in the movie. Again, just in case, I won't go into too much detail of it. The baby CGI was real, real bad. And especially the compositing. Like, when they would hold the CGI baby, it would, move around when it's not supposed to move around. The compositing on the CGI baby was really, really bad. I think another issue I would have with it is I wish there was more of it, but at the same time, I do think it's paced perfectly. But you can tell, not that you can tell. I just wish that the movie was 4 hours long. Honestly, I could have watched a whole thing with this Fantastic Four. I think in other negatives too, I would also say that I think that the movie really relies on you wanting to feel for the stakes that it's providing. And I bought into the stakes perfectly, but other people that I've talked to, other people I've noticed, so when I say it's a negative, I don't really mean for me, but a negative that I could see it being for you, when I say you, just anyone watching, there are going to be people who just don't buy into the story and the stakes of the movie. I did, very much so, but I'm struggling to find negatives with the movie. I like it that much. I really, really like the movie a lot. I'm gonna throw it over to you, Nick. What did you think about Fantastic Four: First Steps?
No, I'm in the same realm with you. I loved it. I was super nervous about it, even though everything for me was pointing to a positive. I loved the vibe and the aesthetic that they set up. I loved everyone that they cast in the movie. I love Matt Shakman as a director. Like everything going in was positive. But it's kind of the same thing with like when all the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are coming out, where I'm like, something just feels off in the stomach, and I just couldn't help get over it because I've been scorned in the past by Fantastic Four movies. I thought everyone in the cast did a terrific job. The standout for me, I think, would be Sue and Reed. I thought that out of all of them, maybe the one who I was kind of hesitant on was Pedro Pascal as Reed, and like scene one, I was just like, "Yep, that's him.
Mm-hmm.
He did it. He nailed it. Great choice, great decisions all around." I thought his stretching powers were really well done in the movie, and I know that's one that's kind of always hard to kind of translate in a way that doesn't look cheesy or bad, but I thought the way they utilized it within the narrative, I thought was really well placed, and I think the overall family structure and dynamic you immediately buy into. I I think what I loved about it the most though was that it felt like a fully fleshed out world, right? They're the only
Mm.
heroes in New York on this earth that it takes place in, and you have characters popping up in montages. You have villains that they reference. Paul Walter Hauser is in the movie in a small role as Mole Man, and the way he's integrated into the story, it's a character that shouldn't work, and they found a way to integrate it into the story in such a interesting way to give him like a moment to shine that I thought was really spectacular, and it just felt like this world that had characters with these rich backstories, with these histories with each other, like even the scenes with like Mole Man and Mr. Fantastic together, you're like, ah, yes, like I sense the dynamic here.
And the history
Uh,
there, yeah.
exactly. And I thought that I was a big fan too of Eben Boss Makara. I'm butchering his name. The Thing in the
Yeah.
movie. I thought he had a very interesting arc, and I think that he absolutely nailed the Thing being kind of the heart of the Fantastic Four team, even though he is the solid rock. You think he'd be the rock, but Sue's really the one running the show, and I thought it was a great portrayal as well. And I think the stakes that the movie sets up for me worked really well, especially during scenes where everything's just gone haywire, everything's failing, and they still have these very serious moments, these dramatic moments, these very tender moments, and how they're able to integrate that in the madness of everything that's going on. You're kind of feeling the anxiety that the characters are feeling within the grander narrative, which I thought was a very big positive for it. I was also curious how they were going to play into it taking place on another Earth, and I like that they're just kind of like, "That's just what it is. Good luck," you know.
Mm.
Um, but I do want to talk briefly too about the villains of the movie being Shalabal and of course Galactus.
Galactus.
Because holy crap, if I wanted to see Galactus not be a cloud for a long time, and it was not a character that I thought could work in a movie not as like an Avengers level threat in an Avengers movie. I thought they did an absolutely terrific job with the portrayal of Galactus. The scale and scope of the character, the design, the performance by Ralph Ineson, it just worked perfectly in my opinion for me. And the motive behind the character I found really interesting, and the connection with Shalabal as his Herald. I thought that their kind of interplayed together, their storyline, their arcs worked really well for me. In terms of negatives, I think I would kind of be with you. Some of the CGI got a little wonky, the compositing, and it felt like there were kind of scenes missing from certain arcs in a way. Like it kind of felt like I thought the second act was fantastic, and it felt like we needed a little more between it during the bridge between Act Two and Act Three to really
Mm.
nail home the final narrative drive of three.
That's
And
fair.
I think there's a lot of people that maybe won't like the ending of the movie. It 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 worked for me.
I love the ending, but
I
I'm
was
with
on
you.
board
I'm
with
with
it,
you. I think there are going to be
but
people who don't like how it ends.
and I feel like it may be a thing where it's like you kind of maybe have to be tied to the comics a little bit. Otherwise, certain elements maybe come across as a little cheesy or scapegoaty. But but for me, it worked. I'm very interested to see what they set up. There's a mid-credit scene that's very interesting that I
Hmm.
recommend people stay around for. But overall, I'm very positive. I think it's a big win for Marvel, and that's coming, 2 in a row. I was a big fan of Thunderbolts. I think I like this more than Thunderbolts. I think I could definitively say there.
Hmm.
And I hope that Marvel moving forward takes a lot more risk swings. I don't know what we want to call them, but just I loved the idea of setting on a different Earth. I love the visual style, the retro 60s vibe, and I hope we start to see more projects like that in the future. Not necessarily that specific vibe, but something that is wholly
I
uniquely
got you.
its own vision and voice.
No,
Oh, yeah.
100%. And I think until now we never had the definitive Fantastic Four film, and now we do. Like
Yeah.
that's honestly how it feels. And one negative I will give it, as you were talking, was, and I didn't pick it up more until my second time because it's quick if you miss it, is the timeline of events. Of wait, how long has it been exactly since they've been working on this? And the movie is a bit unclear with that. And I didn't catch it until my second time watching because it's literally referenced one time as to how long they're working on something, and then it moves on. So that can be a little bit difficult to follow, but I think they sacrifice some of that for the pace to keep moving, which worked in its favor and against it in that way.
Hmm.
Um, what I think the movie does well also, and it kind of goes to how I really like the ending and you really like the ending, and the stakes, why they work for me, is because when they set up what the stakes are, immediately you have questions of like, they better address this. And they do right away. And then at the end of the film as well, they do something where a character is attempting to do something that seems impossible. And you're like, all right, but if they pull this off, then there better be a consequence to this, and there is. The movie was almost ready for your questions, if that makes sense,
Hmm.
and that felt nice that it felt that way. Yeah, I love this movie. I'm probably going to end up seeing it again. We've had a really great summer of fun blockbuster movies. Superman and Fantastic Four have been great. Thunderbolts was technically summer. I thought that was great as well. I've been loving it. We got weapons coming out soon. We got more summer stuff coming up. I'm excited. This has been fun.
No, it's been a great summer. I'm really looking forward to like the Naked Gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that I'm very excited to see. So I mean, no, I think I'm very excited, and I think what's more like I'm actively excited to see these characters again. Which I love the Thunderbolts, but I'm like, man, I think I'm more excited to see the Fantastic Four and Doomsday more than the Thunderbolts, like leaving
Yeah,
their projects, which is a testament to the movie, especially because we've been scorned in the past by Fantastic Four content. So I think it's refreshing to see, it's exciting to see, and I can't wait to see what how these characters interact with people from a different universe where heroes are plentiful.
yeah. It's gonna be interesting. I can't wait to see it. But guys, once you've seen Fantastic Four: The First Steps, what did you think about it? Please let us know in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next review.